Hey there, gang. Back at it again, Grimracer, Trophy Hunter. Today we're going to talk a little bit about diversity receivers. Diversity receivers. What does that mean? So, I'm sitting here down in the shop, and I want to talk a little bit about Futaba's diversity receivers and what that means, and the value in that in model boating, RC model boating, especially for us competition nuts. So, anyway, I've got three receivers here. Let's take a look at them. I've got the 304. The 324 and the 334. So I've got three different receivers here, and two of the three are diversity receivers, and one isn't. What does that mean? Diversity means that it has two antennas. Now you might only see one externally, but there is a second antenna inside this receiver. It's a small chip looking device. Chip's not quite the right word, but it's mounted parallel to the PCB in here. Along with that there's other responsibilities, and one of them is the proper installation of this receiver, and some of the things that I like to do to get them ready for racing operations. So anyway, let's take a look. I've jotted down a few of the specs for these different receivers, some notes. So the 304SB, that's this little fella right here, is a non-diversity receiver. You can see it comes with a shorter antenna. They all do come with a shorter antenna when you buy them brand new. This one is TFHSS receiver, which means it offers telemetry option. Right now on Futaba it's about $70, $69.99. The specs on are 4.8 to 7.4 volts. That's its operating voltage. And there's a note in Futaba's website saying use caution when running analog servos with this receiver. What they're really telling you is it's probably not a good idea. You're going to damage something, quite likely the servo, possibly the receiver. The SKU for this part is 0011-02179-3. And it is an S-Bus 2 receiver. And why is that important? Well, that allows you to use GPS telemetry, put a hub in it, use several telemetries. It's a nice way to go. I believe S-Bus 2 is a little bit faster, allows faster manipulation of that data passing through there. Then I also have 334 SBS. This is a diversity receiver. So this is one of those that has two antennas. Now I use the 400 millimeter antenna. You can see that here. But it has a antenna that is parallel to the board. So keep that in mind when you're using this receiver. 334 SBS. This one offers SR and TFHSS. And what is that? That's more money. If you want to run this in super response, if I was racing cars again, I'm not. My vision isn't good enough for it. If I was racing cars again, I would want this receiver. I'd be running this in SR. There'd be no reason for me to run, for the most part, in TFHSS if I was racing 8-scale gas cars or 12-scale cars or 10-scale off-road. I would want to have this in SR. So this particular receiver is, I think it's about $85 currently on the Futaba website, and or about that range. So again, the reason for that is the SR. Another interesting note about this receiver, it'll operate on 3.7 to 7.4 volts. Oh, interesting. Not that that really changes much for Model Marine. Most of us are using LIFE packs for receiver packs, so we're pretty good there. The SKU is 01102246-3. It is also S-Bus 2. So this is a nice receiver. Might be a little bit more than you need actually for marine application. unless you think you need SR. Most of us are looking for telemetry. And then the last one that I've got in front of me here. This is the 324 SBS. This is my favorite. This is 3.7 to 7.4 volts. Nice. It is, again, use caution when using analog servos. All of these give you that warning. The 3.7 to 7.4 volts. The SKU is 011-02245-3 is an S-Bus 2. Another note with these diversity receivers, this is a diversity receiver, 2 antennas. They have gold-plated pins on the servo pins. Now the 304 does not, and I know the 203, some of the other ones don't either. So these receivers are a little bit more money, but in a marine application, a gold pin, I like that a lot. So gold pins, 324, 334, a wider range of operating voltage, which is nice. The 324 is a TF-HSS receiver. For us boat guys, it's the perfect fit, and it's not that hard to just update it to the long antenna. You can actually get a hold of Futaba's service center, contact them, ask them if they'll replace these antennas for you. When I visited in 2019, that was the recommendation to me, to our customers, or to the customers, to make sure that you contact Futaba, send the receiver in to have the antenna changed. Now, in the past, you were able to purchase that antenna separately, and maybe that's available again. I don't know as of the time of this video. But you know, we'll keep working on it if it's not, because it'd be great to be able to just peel these open and put the antennas in ourselves. But for now, hey, as long as you can get it done, that's the important thing. The 203 and some of the other receivers that they offer, those antennas are actually soldered on the boards. They're not clip-ons, so you wouldn't be able to change them yourself anyway. All right, so Team Futaba Marine recommends the use of a diversity receiver in model boating, and here's why. This signal, 2.4 gig signal, it's really not happy going through water. As a matter of fact, water is a huge challenge for 2.4. Now, Futaba's done a great job of managing that, but part of that comes from a diversity receiver, giving you the best opportunity for the cleanest signal. Because the signal itself, 2.4, doesn't travel through water very well, and we're seeing these giant rooster tails at long distances, or even our own rooster tail, or you know, just a poor antenna installation, you're going to challenge this system, and it's just not necessary. I mean, every bit of that's avoidable. Get the antenna up out of the boat. In my opinion and my recommendation, use the 400 millimeter antenna. You're going to see that here on my Sport 40. That's what it looks like. Kind of looks like the old days when you had the antenna coming up out of the boat. Now, I know that one of those two antennas is up as far as the other one can be. The second antenna is in that receiver picking up double duty for me when and if I need it. So if you had a single, if you were running the 304, and I have run these in model boating in the past, where's that little guy? 304 SB. The only antenna that's doing anything at all is the one on the end of the coax. Not bad, but if you're running this in a standard length and you're not running it out of the box, well, you're not leaving yourself the most opportunity for the best reception. So why not, if nothing else, get this thing up out of the box, up out of the boat if you can. As a matter of fact, I recommend it. And then even better yet, put the 400 millimeter antenna and get that thing up off the water. Get that thing up off the water. Now, another thing I think that's important, because we know that this antenna runs parallel to this PCB board, this is going to be our best orientation. Label up. Why is that? If I mount this thing like this or this, and the boat's going around, I don't have much opportunity for that second receiver antenna right here, do I? It's being blocked by the PCB, or potentially blocked by the PCB, or the components on it, or the noise that it's creating, or whatever. I'd like to see, I do, mounting the antenna with the label up. Let's take a look inside my Sport 40. So this is my Phil Thomas Super Sport 45, and this boat is officially 10 years old in 2021. Wow, it's almost going on 11 years. 2019 it got its US 1. It is a very good boat. Now this boat is still looking pretty good, and it's actually been damaged. The center hull hasn't been damaged, but I damaged a cowl once and had to fix it. Anyway, let's peel the cowl off this thing. I've got it loosened up here. Let's take a look in here. Hang tight. So let me pull the bungee off this radio box. You can see my antenna mount here. I'm going to go ahead and roll this to the side. And there's my receiver right here. And my receiver, I try to keep the wires as far away as possible. That's not always easy, but there it is. And you can see it's label up, connectors up in that vertical position. I don't know if I'm getting enough light in here. Anyway, that's the position I'd like to see those get installed in. Actually, your best opportunity for reception is having that label up, unobstructed best you can. Does that make sense? Does that help at all? I hope this helps, because in the end, we don't want to be losing boats, especially when it's something as easy as just the orientation of the receiver, or making sure that the antenna is out of the boat or out of the box, or the installation of a 400 millimeter antenna. That's all pretty darn easy stuff, and it's even easier for around 55 bucks to go ahead and put the 324 receiver in, which is a T receiver. So if you've got GPS in your 7PX, you can use that. And the price is right. The performance is fantastic. Diversity receivers in model boating. 2 antennas, 1 exterior, 1 interior. Get that label facing up. Best opportunity for performance. Let's not shy on that. The idea here is to get you guys up front winning races. Less frustration, more fun. Let's go out and make this Futaba stuff work the way it's designed to operate. I think you'll all find that all these radio things you hear about, and if you've had trouble yourself, you can avoid a lot of that just by following a few simple rules. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, comment below, and I'll see what I can attend to. Anyway, that's it. Grimracer Trophy Hunter. Let's do this again soon. We'll see ya.